The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for the next 2 weeks, January 26th to February 6th, reveal that there'll be some betrayal blunders, wild discoveries, and secrets ready to blow during the week of January 26th-30th. Carter Walton will share some close moments with Daphne Rose as they discuss their upcoming wedding. Meanwhile, Sheila Sharp will make Deacon Sharp uncomfortable as she plays up what an incredible gift Taylor Hayes gave them when she brought them together again. In reality, Deacon won't be able to stop thinking about Taylor and the lips he really wants to kiss. It looks like Taylor and Deacon may step out of fantasy territory with a real lip lock soon enough. As for Brooke Logan Forrester, B&B spoilers say she'll remain over the moon about RJ Forrester's return to Los Angeles. Once RJ goes for a swim, Brooke will gush over his comeback and perhaps wonder about his plans now that he's sticking around. After Steffi Forrester Finnegan steps in for Ivy Forrester on a trip to San Francisco with Electra Forrester, some beach house surprises will play out. Dylan will ogle Will as he works out before spending time alone with him. Electra warned Dylan to adhere to the rules and avoid overstepping like this, but Dylan clearly won't listen. It looks like Dylan may take a tumble while dancing and end up in Will's lap right as Ivy peers through the window. Ivy will be left reeling as she assumes Dylan's making her move with Will, and she might be right if they share a kiss. Electra and Steffi will also have a jewelry presentation during their San Francisco trip, so look for Morgan Fairchild to come back as Dottie, along with Jim J. Bullock as her assistant, Joseph. The week of February 2 to 6 will bring Electra home for some shocking updates. Ivy may offer news on what she witnessed at the beach house and leave Electra fuming. Will Electra order Dylan off Will's property immediately? Will Electra consider breaking up with Will if he crosses one line too many with Dylan? Over with Eric Forrester, he may have more close calls as he works to keep his Logan lead designer secret from the Forrester clan. Eric will hit the ground running and hope to make a real difference in Logan's launch, but how long will Brooke and Ridge Forrester stay in the dark? As for Steffi, her fear may come true as Deacon and Taylor continue to bond despite her efforts to derail them. Taylor and Deacon's budding romance could eventually lead to some clues that'll put Sheila on the path to the truth. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers say Sheila's wrath is coming up sooner or later, so stick with the CBS soap. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers update for the week of January 26th-30 reveals that Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp will pass the point of no return, while Will Spencer finds himself in a scandalous situation. For starters, RJ Forrester will prance around shirtless as part of the typical soap hunk introduction package. Brooke Logan Forrester will spot RJ coming in from a swim at her place and spend more time reconnecting with her son. As for Deacon and Taylor, all the warnings in the world can't stop what's been set in motion. It looks like Taylor and Deacon will ignore Steffi Forrester Finnegan's concerns, at least long enough to share a real kiss. Of course, Deacon and Taylor will be taking a gamble since Sheila Sharp would go ballistic if she knew the truth. Sheila will remain in the dark on the true nature of Taylor and Deacon's connection for now, but the secrecy can't last forever. On another note, Carter Walton will make more promises to Daphne Rose about their future together. The goal will be to move forward with this wedding soon and get started on their mutual family plans. After Steffi makes an announcement, she'll slide in Ivy Forrester's spot on the upcoming San Francisco business trip. B&B fans will see Steffi and Electra Forrester interact with some interesting guest stars as they offer up some fresh jewelry pieces. Morgan Fairchild will step back into the role of Dottie, so look for her assistant, Joseph, to be part of the jewelry meeting too. Back in Los Angeles, Dylan will find herself drawn to Will, despite her vow to keep her distance and respect the lines Electra has drawn. It seems Dylan will have a little dance practice in the living room and go flying into Will's lap. Ivy's decision to visit the beach house will lead to her getting an eyeful of Will and Dylan's sofa encounter. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Will's about to land in a tight spot, so stick with us for updates on Ivy's shocking news and the Electra fallout. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Katie Logan Spencer may hire Dylan and Will Spencer. Will these two new Logan jobs infuriate Electra Forrester and leave her with more fears about her relationship? Electra and Will approach Steffi Forrester Finnegan about hopefully putting Dylan to work at Forrester Creations. However, the receptionist gig fell through since Steffi had to give the position to somebody else. Dylan could apply as an intern, but she needs a real job and a way to make some money fast. Could Katie come through for Dylan and offer an exciting career opportunity? Dylan has plenty of skills and talent as an artist, so there might be a place for her at Logan. It helps that Katie's pretty desperate to put together a team fast. At some point, Will might suggest Dylan would be a good fit and could perhaps urge her to send Katie some of her work. Katie might take a look and quickly get on board since she's looking for fresh, unique perspectives to make Logan stand out. Perhaps Dylan will check all the boxes for Katie and find herself coming to work at the Logan offices soon. Electra might be pleased over Dylan finally having a paycheck coming in, but then a twist could change the game. Will has already been concerned about whether he really has job security at Forrester Creations. Since Katie's fashion house has stirred up so much tension, it's easy to see why Will would be worried about his own Forrester position. Ridge Forrester basically assured Will that he didn't hold his parents' actions against him. All the Katie drama has nothing to do with Will, and Ridge doesn't think Will is like his problematic father, Bill Spencer Heath, either. That said, B&B spoilers suggest there's bound to be some trouble eventually. If Will overhears Ridge trashing Katie and goes too far, Will might stand up for his mom and walk right out the door. There's a perfectly good Spencer empire waiting for Will to decide he wants to be part of it. Will could go to work for Bill at Spencer Publications, but Katie might persuade Will to use what he's learned about the fashion business and help her get Logan off the ground. If both Will and Dylan become team players at Logan, you can bet Electra's going to hit the roof. The idea of Dylan and Will working in the same building without her around could become a giant problem for Electra. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers say Dylan will lead to much bigger issues in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for updates on any breakup news that might be brewing for Electra and Will. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week of January 26th reveal some curveballs. For one thing, Ivy Forrester does some snooping. Will Spencer is about to cross a line. Plus, Deacon Sharp makes a move on Taylor Hayes. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Fans know that Ivy and Electra Forrester were supposed to go to San Francisco on a business trip. Electra warned Dylan that she better stay in her apartment the whole time. However, in a weekly preview clip, Steffi announces that there has been a change in plans. Instead of Ivy, Steffi will be joining Electra on the business trip. While Electra is gone with Steffi, Ivy will stop by the beach house to check on things. However, when she peers in the window, she sees a horrifying sight. Ivy reels over watching Dylan and Will in a close moment. Their faces are very close together, as if they are about to kiss. This will put Ivy in a tough spot. Does she confront Will and Dylan? Report back to Electra? Keep quiet and hope she was imagining things? Then there is the whole perspective with Dylan. Is she really after Will, or could Electra just be reading too much into things because of Luna Nozawa? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week of January 26th reveal that Deacon knows it's a big risk to pursue Taylor. Even so, he is thinking about Hope Logan Spencer's encouragement. Deacon will end up putting Taylor's face in his hands. Then, the two share a soft, passionate kiss. However, as the week continues, everyone will scramble to stop Sheila Carter Sharp from finding out the truth. Even John Finn Finnegan is keeping it from his own bio-mom. Just the fact that Deacon asked Taylor out on a date will make things complicated. What is he going to do? Dine with Taylor at Il Giardino while Sheila serves them? Deacon isn't thinking very clearly, and neither is Taylor. If Deacon was just going to move on, then why reunite with Sheila in the first place? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of January 26th, 2026? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers document that Deacon Sharp is following his children's advice and pursuing love. The fact that he's still married to his wife is being rationalized. Taylor Hayes heard her daughter loud and clear. She agrees with Steffi Forrester Finnegan, going along with her warnings to her face. But Taylor is overcome with emotion when in Deacon's presence. The same is true for Kanan's character in her regard, which begs the soapy question, Sheila Carter Sharp is getting closer to the day when her world will be wrecked. An easy prediction would have B&B's all-time leading villain go berserk after that happens. However, the unpredictability makes soap operas great. This genre isn't built on the expected. So, Sheila's unpredictability could go as Taylor recently asserted. Brown's character could surprise everyone and react as a normal human being might. Rather than hunt down Taylor, Sheila might verbally rip Deacon apart or collapse emotionally. That result would provide the far more interesting climax with plenty of potential. Imagine a scenario where Sheila falls into a depression rather than a rage. An entire story could be developed where she needs to visit a mental health facility and explore the inner depths of her soul, with classic scenes being replayed. That's the type of alternative outcome that would make this overall storyline stellar rather than a revisited road. It appears that Deacon thinks Sheila will be able to handle learning that he's breaking their marriage vows. She hasn't done that or even considered it. Deacon has been Sheila's rock since they first fell in love. Their story ranks with one of the most unexpected yet logical pairings in daytime. Two spurned souls who bonded because they were the outcasts in this version of Los Angeles, California, felt they could progress together. But the coming reveal of Deacon falling in love with Taylor means that Sheila will either have to forgive him and seek reconciliation, or let him go in some form. Why should Taylor remain alone indefinitely? That's one of the questions Deacon has been pressing. His argument involves Taylor pursuing interests that go beyond her children, grandchildren, and patients. Ridge Forrester abandoned Taylor to remarry. Brooke Logan Forrester. It wasn't a surprising move because the man returned to his Logan on so many past occasions. What's new is that Taylor has an option that no one would have predicted, including herself, before Deacon sought her psychiatric services. It feels as though this love match will happen, and that Sheila's reaction, with whatever it may be, is less likely to be a preventative factor on B&B. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila Carter has gone above and beyond to prove herself to everyone in Deacon's life that she's a changed woman. She credits Taylor Hayes with magically putting her marriage back together, and she wants anyone within earshot to know it. However, as Sheila touts the good doctor's talents, she's entirely unaware of her growing connection with Deacon. Sheila is desperate to keep her marriage intact, and a desperate Sheila is dangerous. This week, Brown expertly portrayed a reformed loose cannon on the verge of exploding, unlike ever before. Brown's Sheila kicked off the week trying to revive the spicy playfulness that she and Deacon once shared. Despite Sheila's complicated past, it's difficult not to feel her disappointment through the screen as Deacon shrugs off her advances. In Sheila's mind, Deacon had agreed to reconcile their marriage, so things should have returned to the way they were before. However, their reunion has been anything but a return to form. While he has what seems like daily therapy sessions with his soon-to-be mistress, Taylor, Sheila is begging and pleading for his children to give her a chance. Brown has played a villain for the majority of her run as Sheila, so rooting for her isn't usually the first reaction. Watching her make her case to Deke time and time again, only for him to ignore her and walk away, gives off unrivaled levels of second-hand embarrassment. Viewers should despise Sheila for the terrible atrocities she's committed over the years, so it's a testament to Brown's acting prowess that she delivers a performance that earns sympathy. There's a reason why the bold and the beautiful, and even the young and the restless, have returned to the well countless times and breathed new life into the Sheila character. Brown is magic on screen, and she brings out the past in all of her castmates. Whenever Sheila is in a scene, viewers know something wild or wacky is going to happen. This week was no different. The way she drives home the idea that Taylor is the biggest factor in saving her marriage, while the people watching witness Deacon and Taylor grow closer, creates genuine anxiety. Deacon and Taylor are showing no signs of slowing down whatever is building between the two. Despite Steffi's plea for the two to cut ties to avoid triggering Sheila, they continue to flirt with the idea of becoming more than a doctor and patient. On Friday's all-new episode, Deacon floated the idea of taking Taylor out on a real date, despite the unavoidable fact that he is married to Sheila. Eventually, this needs to culminate with Sheila uncovering the truth, and it's her reaction that will shape everyone's future. Those who know Sheila expect her to have the worst possible reaction and resort to her previous inclination toward violence. However, what if Sheila shocked everyone and handled it with grace and dignity? Although highly unlikely, given how easily she can be set off, it's an entertaining thought to ponder. Unfortunately for Taylor, the same energy level and passion that Sheila puts into singing her praises can just as easily be transferred into anger and rage. Taylor has been on the receiving end of a bullet from Sheila in the past, so even toying with the temptation of being with her husband is a bit surprising. Sheila has come a long way, and even though she risked her life to save Steffi's, the old, deadly, and dangerous persona still exists beneath the surface. Taylor's been through a lot over the last few years, and instead of working toward a brighter future, she's encouraging darkness to take hold. The Bold and the Beautiful brings a glamorous twist as Morgan Fairchild returns as Dottie, stepping into Steffi and Electra's high-stakes pitch. Her arrival threatens their plan, raises old Forrester ties, and stirs tension before the meeting begins. Drama follows fast as expectations shift. Morgan Fairchild steps back into the Bold and the Beautiful as Dottie, and her return could not happen at a more sensitive time. Steffi and Electra prepare for an important pitch, yet Dottie's entrance shifts the room's energy before either woman speaks. Her influence becomes clear immediately, and Steffi must react fast. Dottie has deep history with the Forrester family, and that connection brings weight. Her presence might reassure investors, but it could also overshadow Electra's plans. Steffi believes having Stephanie Forrester's granddaughter at the table matters. That angle could help the pitch or disrupt Electra's growing momentum. Dottie arrives with her trusted assistant Joseph, whose sharp eye and quick judgments add another layer of tension. Joseph is known to evaluate designs with precision, and his reactions often influence Dottie's decisions. Electra feels the pressure instantly as Dottie begins trying on jewelry. The assistant's approval could push the pitch toward success, but his critiques may expose weak points in the new collection. Steffi hopes experience wins the moment, while Electra wants creativity to shine. Both watch Dottie closely, knowing her reactions could change the entire outcome of the meeting. Morgan Fairchild's return heightens Steffi and Electra's rivalry. Electra expected to lead the pitch with confidence, yet Dottie's connection to the Forrester legacy shifts attention toward Steffi. That dynamic builds tension as both women try to protect their work without undermining each other. Steffi sees strategic value in Dottie's approval. Electra sees potential trouble. Their partnership becomes strained when Dottie shows interest in certain pieces that favor one designer's ideas over the other. That quiet competition may spill into the next phase of their storyline once they return home. Even if the pitch ends smoothly, Morgan Fairchild's return sets off new challenges for Steffi and Electra. Her appearance might spark gossip in Los Angeles, especially among those who question whether Forrester Creations is prioritizing legacy ties over fresh talent. That perception could fuel conflict across the company. Electra may resent losing control of her vision, while Steffi may face pressure to defend choices tied to family history. Dottie's influence lingers long after she leaves the room. Her presence marks the beginning of a new round of tensions that follow them home. Morgan Fairchild's glamorous return to the Bold and the Beautiful brings energy, influence, and fresh conflict to Steffi and Electra's storyline. Her comeback shifts alliances and sparks new challenges ahead. Keep watching Soap Opera Daily for every update as this drama unfolds. Outro. Electra and Steffi head to San Francisco for a jewelry presentation. Electra takes Steffi into her confidence. Finn sets events in motion, leading Will and Dylan to spend time together. Ivy checks out a close moment between Dylan and Will. Ivy puts Dylan on notice and demands she leave town. Sheila continues to be ridiculously grateful to Taylor for saving her marriage. Deacon and Taylor share a special moment. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week of January 26 to 30 reveal that Brooke Logan is still over the moon about the return of R.J. Forrester. Steffi Forrester shares an update with Electra Forrester, informing her of a sudden change of plans. Sheila Carter gushes about Taylor Hayes, telling Deacon Sharp how lucky they are to have her. Later, Deacon and Taylor share a passionate kiss. Meanwhile, Ivy Forrester gets an eyeful when she sees Will Spencer and Dylan in a compromising position. At Brooke's place, she's delighted to see RJ getting comfortable around the house. The Bold and the Beautiful preview for the week shows the doting mom gushing over her son, who came in from a swim. "Well, this is a familiar sight. It's like you never left," Brooke tells RJ. At Forrester Creations, Elektra gets some important updates from Steffi. Spoilers say Steffi decides to go to San Francisco with Elektra instead of Ivy. "You're coming to San Francisco?" Elektra excitedly asks. "Chance of plans," Steffi replies with a smile. Since Steffi decides to go on a business trip with Elektra, that'll give Ivy some free time to check on things at Will's beach house. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers note, she's not fully on board with Elektra spending a lot of time there. Plus, she also finds it inappropriate that Dylan is living there with Will. Next week, she stops by the beach house while Elektra's on the trip and is shocked by what she sees through the window. Preview shows Dylan and Will in a close moment, almost sharing a kiss. Regardless of whether a kiss happens or not, Ivy is definitely not happy about it. She'll likely warn Elektra and might even encourage her to end things with Will. As for Dylan, it's clear that she's already broken her promise to respect boundaries. Is this the beginning of trouble for all three? Meanwhile, Sheila keeps singing Taylor's praises, crediting her for saving her marriage. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say she remains unaware of what's really going on between her husband and his therapist. Next week, Deacon is back at Taylor's office, and the two share a passionate kiss. Will their smooch be real this time? Or will it be another steamy fantasy? We all knew that these twists were a-comin', and the week of January 26th, on The Bold and the Beautiful, they arrive in explosive fashion. First off, it was only a matter of time before Deacon and Taylor gave in to their mutual attraction and kissed. And despite their fears of what his unstable wife might do if she learned of their feelings, they go ahead and lock lips in the new sneak peek video that the soap just released. And how's this for irony? As Deacon is cheating on Sheila, she's saying again how very thankful she is that the shrink came along and saved her marriage. Lord, the Wicked Witch isn't just going to hit the roof. She's going to fly straight through it and remind us where Luna got all that crazy. Secondly, Dylan just can't seem to keep her eyes off of pal Elektra's boyfriend Will. Coming up, it would appear that she doesn't just ogle her host, she sits next to him on the couch so close that she's practically in his lap. It even looks like they too are going to kiss. Right as Elektra's Aunt Ivy is being all Gladys Kravitz peeping in the beach house's window. But even if Will does betray Elektra with Dylan, the jewelry designer's heart isn't likely to stay broken for long. From the looks of RJ in the promo, he's been working out a lot in preparation to make a play for Cousin Will's sweetheart. At the Cliff House, Hope continues probing Taylor about her feelings for Deacon. Steffi arrives in time to hear her tell the psychiatrist that they would be amazing together. At Il Giardino, Deacon tells Finn that Sheila's not there. The madwoman's son asks the restaurateur how he puts up with her. Deacon skirts the question and takes off for a session with Taylor. Sheila emerges and greets her handsome son. Finn shifts in his chair uncomfortably and explains he's just picking up takeout. Sheila ignores this and joins him to specifically tell him she and Deacon are back together and doing great thanks to Taylor. Finn fidgets as she goes on and on. Katie visits Will at the beach house and wants to hear more about this Dylan living in the guest house. At that very moment, Elektra is setting boundaries with the girl at Forrester. She can never have dinner alone with Will again. At the beach house, Will tells Katie that Dylan lost her job and apartment after everything with Luna and ended up living in her car. Katie's proud of him for stepping up to help. At Forrester, Dylan protests that she was only in the beach house doing laundry. Elektra urges her to focus on herself and find a way to get back on her feet. Dylan apologizes if she upset her. Dylan asks about a job at Forrester, and Elektra informs her it's not going to work out. There won't be an opening there for a while. Dylan's surprised, but takes the news gracefully. She'll figure this out and make sure she's not in Elektra's way anymore. At the beach house, Katie goes on about how proud she is of Will for taking Dylan in. Will marvels that her car was full of stuff. It was clear she was living in her back seat. Dylan is one of Elektra's closest friends, and he had to help her out. Over at Forrester, Dylan keeps thanking Elektra for believing in her. Electra tells her she and Ivy are going on a business trip to San Francisco for a few days. She needs her to adhere to the rules and stay in the guest apartment while she's gone. Dylan assures her she has nothing to worry about. They hug as Electra explains she doesn't want to feel betrayed again. Deacon meets with Taylor at the Cliff House, and she tells him his daughter came to speak with her. Deacon chuckles. Her daughter came to speak with him. At that very moment at Forrester, Steffi is confronting Hope. "Why are you encouraging my mom to be with your father?" At the Cliff House, Taylor explains that Hope seems to think something is going on between them. Deacon admits he told her that maybe she's not wrong. Hope wants him to end her marriage. Taylor says Steffi doesn't trust Sheila. Deacon nods. She made it pretty clear that she's not supportive and warned him to keep his distance from her. Taylor admits her daughter can come on a little too strong. Deacon admires her desire to protect her. He worries about her too. Back at Forrester, Hope asks Steffi if it would really be so terrible if Taylor and Deacon got together. Steffi reminds her that he's Sheila's husband, TM. The weird attraction needs to end before it's too late. She needs to protect her mom from Sheila. Hope insists her dad wouldn't let anything happen to Taylor. Steffi laughs. No one can stop her from doing what she wants to do. "This can't happen!" Hope understands she doesn't want this to happen, but their parents deserve to be happy. "My dad is a good man. Maybe they could help each other heal." Steffi says he can't be with her mom. At Forrester, Steffi advises Hope to help Deacon find a good divorce lawyer and get him on the dating apps. Just leave her mother out of it. She admits that Deacon's come a long way, but that's beside the point. They both know what Sheila's capable of. He made his bed with Sheila, and now he has to sleep in it, with her 8 toes. At the Cliff House, Taylor tells Deacon he doesn't have to worry about her. He knows she's an independent woman. It's one of the things he finds so sexy about her. But Steffi has a point about Sheila. He asks, "What if you stopped billing me and we just met somewhere like this for lunch?" It could be an extremely hot date. Taylor warns, Deacon. Moving in close, Deacon lists her attributes and tells her she's so beautiful while stroking her face. What the heck is in the water over at Bold and Beautiful? All of a sudden, Ivy is being written as a pearl-clutching prude, and for the life of us, we can't fathom why Electra is going along with her aunt's nonsense. We know that the younger jewelry designer thinks that Ivy hangs the moon and stars. But come on! What 21-year-old who just started having sex with her hot boyfriend is going to let her aunt throw cold water on their hookups like that? And it bears repeating that Electra is a full-grown card-carrying adult. She can do as she pleases. So why on earth would she let Ivy be such a jock block? Electra being worried about what the other Forresters would think of her sleeping with Will is even sillier. Surely, she knows how many times Eric has been married and left one wife for another. Dude is in no position to judge anybody. Guess Ivy is being sacrificed at the storyline altar, being recast in the role of puritanical buzzkill just to create enough space between Electra and Will for Dylan to try to sneak on in there. We're not mad at the end result. The RJ/Electra, Will, Dylan triangle looks like it's going to be fun. But the means to that end have us scratching our heads.